right. Well, welcome back to the Pitcher's Mound. Here back with Jeff again, and today we're actually talking about referrals, and so we'll just get right into it. Do you want to kind of give us like a background of like your experience with referrals, being a business owner for years? You that was part of the reason why you started this company, but kind of go into the background of how referrals kind of influence where we're at today with Pitch 59.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, truth be told, referrals weren't why we created Pitch 59 in the beginning. But soon after we started it, we realized that was a major emphasis that we could solve.
Yeah.
And we originally created Pitch 59 to compete against the big dogs like Google and Yelp and HomeAdvisor on the search engine platforms.
Yeah.
But we just wanted a better search engine experience for services. But we ended up creating these pitch cards. And after we created these, we're like, you know what? These would be the bomb.com if they were used for referrals and introductions and stuff. And anyway, so we built it out to solve that. But before I go there, my elevator pitch for Pitch 59 is that 82% of small business owners rely on referrals as their primary source of growth. And out of 100 happy customers, on average, only 4% of them are making referrals and introductions for those companies that they like.
You say that like you said it a few times before.
I've said it a few times.
just a couple.
And so there's a huge swath. Out of those 100 happy customers, on average, 83 of them are willing to make introductions if they like the company.
Yeah.
But only 4 of them are actually making the referrals or introductions. And so the question comes, why don't they make more referrals?
Yeah. I mean, you have a massive majority. Most of the time, I mean, I would say if you have any sort of business, you're going to have people that you do quality work. You get it done right. You're going to have people that like you.
Yeah.
They're going to want to share you out. But there's a gap. Like it's just not working right now.
Yep.
I mean, 4% is tiny. That's minute in order to figure out like, I mean, there's such a gap of why aren't people doing this? So there's a need and it's just not happening. Like there's so many people that want to, but there's just not a good way of doing it.
Well, and the sad thing is that so many businesses are relying on those referrals as their primary source of growth.
Right.
So, I mean, if it was just an ancillary thing that they didn't really need, then that's one thing. But when they're all really relying on these referrals of these happy customers, it becomes critical to look into it and say, okay, what's the problem? If there's so many businesses that need those, if there's so many people that are willing to do them, but so few of them are actually doing it, what's happening? Where's the problem?
Yeah, definitely.
And so in conversations and in research with these customers, we talked to a lot of customers. We did a lot of research online. And the primary reason that most people don't make referrals and introductions is because it's just too hard.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what to say. They don't know what information to include. It takes too long.
Yeah.
And their reputation is on the line. So like if you
both reputations are on the line.
Correct.
The person who's referring and the person that's receiving the referral.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you ask me to refer you, most people are, for example, if you go out and ask customers to refer you to their neighbors or friends or whatever, most of them are going to say, sure, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is you're going to leave or you're going to split and that referral is never going to end up happening.
Yeah.
And it's because they're not prepared. Like they don't know what to do. And that fear of like not knowing what to do, not knowing how long it's going to take, not knowing what to say, like there's too many barriers in place for them to feel comfortable actually making the referral for you.
Or you're just not top of mind, really. Mm-hmm. Like they remember, of course they remember who you are and everything like that. But in that moment of when it would be a great opportunity to give a referral to somebody else, they're not necessarily thinking of you, or they haven't had enough interactions or time to be able to remember who you are, or they're like, oh, what was their name again? Yeah. They're not going to be carrying their card around with them everywhere they go. Like I'm not carrying around, 200-300 business cards with me everywhere I go of all these companies that I've worked with over the past, my lifetime, whatever. I'm just not in a place to be able to say like, it's in the moment when it's absolute, like where it would have been perfect opportunity to be like, here's Joe Schmo's number, give him a call. Even then, if I give somebody a card and just say like, hey, I know you're looking for a real estate agent. I give them a card and it's got like, their name, their phone number, maybe even a picture on it. A lot of times, even then, the person's not going to call them, or it's just going to get lost, or, it's just like, how many people, if I just receive a phone number or an email, am I actually going to be like, oh yeah, I should do that. You know,
This is especially true for services. Products are a little bit different where you can send like an Amazon product or something.
Yeah, you got like a link
say,
or
hey,
something.
you guys
like
should
that.
check out this product.
Yeah.
It's very different for services where people like hire people that they know, like, and trust.
Because it's more dependent on the person that's doing the service.
Correct. It totally is. And so I remember being, so I used to be in the carpet cleaning space. So I was in it for 13 years.
Yeah.
We had a company up in Idaho. We'd purchased a company in Fresno, California. And then the last company that we owned was a restoration and cleaning company in Houston.
Gotcha.
And I remember I remember cleaning a lady's carpet in Idaho Falls.
Sitting just on the chair, just cleaning the carpet.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
I remember sitting on, you got me in the sitting mode here.
It was a desk chair. It had wheels on it, and you could just go around the room just cleaning.
All right. So I remember being in this lady's house, and she was on the phone with, I don't even know who it was, a neighbor, or a friend, or a mother or sister.
Sure.
And I'm there cleaning her carpet, and I'm hearing her explain. She says, "Yeah, I've got Pure Clean is here cleaning my carpet." And she's like, no, they're doing a great job. Yeah, they bring in a machine and it's rubbing the carpet.
Great things to say about you, right? That's an important part of it. They've got great.
Yeah, she said we're doing a great job. But then all of a sudden she went off on a tangent and she's like, they bring in this machine that rubs the carpet. And I'm like, no. There's a huge difference between rubbing your carpet and doing rotary extraction on your carpet.
You know, I could go in there and rub a carpet.
Yeah, and so anyway, what I really wanted to do at that moment was say, hey, can I talk to her for just a second?
Yeah, no, literally.
Can you pass me your phone? And then jump on the phone and say, Ashley, this is what we do. Thank you so much for the referral. But after you introduce me, I kind of need you to just shut up now. I need you to stop talking because sometimes we as referrers can do more damage than good if we don't know exactly what to say or how to say it. So it's crucial that those companies get to deliver their own elevator pitch and explain who they are and what they do. They just need the referral, like the good word saying, hey, you ought to check out these guys. They're really good.
Yeah.
And then at that point, like they've gotten the validation that they need. Absolutely. Then let them go ahead and explain what they do and who they are.
Well, that's the thing is that you as a business owner or, you know, whatever service or product that you have, you know best, in fact, better than anybody else, what you do, how to explain it, and how best to be able to sell it.
Right.
And that's the most important part of what we do. But regardless of that, like, I think it's just really difficult for people to think that like, maybe I'm not very good at selling this product for this person or this service for this person.
Yeah.
But they have the right intentions. It's not like that lady was trying to be like, well, yeah, they're just like every other carpet cleaner out here and they rub the carpet and stuff like that. And she wasn't doing that.
She was doing her best.
She was doing her best.
Isn't good enough.
But that's the thing is it's not like, it doesn't give a clear picture from the person that actually has that service.
Right.
And it's really difficult because that's where like the reputation kind of comes in. It's not necessarily that it's a negative thing. It's just saying that, like, you know, some of these things, like it's better, even as like a consumer, it's almost better to hear it straight from the person that is providing that service or product.
Yep.
But I would love still to have an introduction or like some sort of referral or some sort of, you know, some other person saying, you should check out this person. You should check out this company. Like they do such a good job and I'm much more likely to trust them. But at the same time, I'd rather hear directly from them and what they do and have them explain it.
The reason for that is because birds of a feather flock together, right? So me and my circle of friends, my family, even my neighborhood, oftentimes you get people that are similar, like have similar preference, similar socioeconomic, similar demographics, similar financial
whatever
stability,
it may be.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, if my neighbor that is a lot like me next door to me recommends your service, I'm much more likely to hire you than if somebody from across the country that lives in a different environment that I don't know very well is going to recommend you.
Right.
I want to get feedback from people that are like me the most.
Yeah.
Because if they're like me the most and they like a product, I feel like I have the best chance of finding a company that I'm going to like.
Right.
So the thing about referrals is people are willing to do them. Refer you to, so like that lady that was essentially, she wasn't, I don't know if she was inadvertently referring us to her mother or friend or whatever.
Sure.
But I really appreciated the referral. I just wish that she would have just said, hey, you should check these guys out. They're really good and they do a great job on your carpet. they'll explain to you what they do.
Yeah. In fact, be like, oh, Jeff, would you mind kind of like, I don't really know how to explain this. Can you kind of tell her what you do a little bit?
Yeah.
It's kind of,
would you take 59 seconds and explain what you do? That would have been
something
ideal.
like that. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, if you think about like, if you go to like a review website, right? If you type in real estate agents or like a restaurant or something like that, online, you've got all these reviews. I don't really pay attention to the reviews that say great job or, did really good, great restaurant, good food. I pay attention more to the reviews of the people that actually go into depth, which aren't as many, to be completely honest. Like there's not a ton of reviews that go, a lot of people just go in there and be like, leave a 5-star review and go from there. But the reviews that actually tell me something about who the person was and what they were looking for from that service. Say, I was working, like I've got 4 kids at home and I've got a dog. And this person came in and did such a great job of doing this thing. Or like I came in with my whole family, my extended family to this restaurant, and they took such great care. I can relate to that person and say, oh, they get it. They get it way more than I do. And so when I receive a referral, I look for people, like you were saying, in a lot of those similar circumstances, or looking for those similar things that they need from that company to provide for me, that they said, oh, they helped me with this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of have that same issue. Or like, I'm looking for that same, quality of service. I would totally try and go, reach out to that person or that company or go to that restaurant, whatever it may be.
One of the problems with most of the review platforms is that the reviews can be anonymous or just show like a first name and first letter of the last name or something like that. Yeah. But the other thing is like there are so many like reviews on Amazon. How many products have got like 10,000 ratings and they're like a 5-star product or whatever, and then you get it and you're like, this was crap. Yeah. Like there is no way. And then you find out that they're shipping out 10,000 products to all these people saying, hey, we'll give you this to you for free if you'll give us a 5-star rating. And I know Amazon tries to crack down on that. Yelp tries to, all of them try to crack down on that.
Which they should, of course.
But on the other hand, it's really hard to do that. And especially like if you are some crazy wacko person that just gave a company a 1-star rating for something that I don't really care about, but you just say, this company is crap, they're terrible, I would never recommend them.
Sure.
Like, honestly, like your opinion may have a subconscious effect on me, but if I knew who you were, I wouldn't even care about your review or rating. No. Whereas if you're a friend or family member or a neighbor or something like that, and you had a 1-star experience with a company, there's a really good chance that I'm never going to use your product or service.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think a lot of the ratings and reviews, like the ones that I glean the most from are the 3 and 4-star ratings. Like the ones that aren't super upset with the company, but they're just like, they're saying, hey,
it's like an above average.
A couple of things really well.
Yeah.
This didn't go great, but I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah.
I don't typically give a lot of credibility to the 1 and 2 stars because oftentimes they're just angry customers.
Yeah.
5-star ratings, they didn't put too much thought behind it. The 3 and 4-star, oftentimes you can tell that those people, like they cared. Sometimes the 5-star ratings, you can tell if they put a lot of thought into it.
But yeah, and that's the thing is it all comes down to the person that's introducing you to these companies or that's leaving you reviews for these companies.
Yep.
And I think that's where we run into such an issue with referrals right now is that we've come to rely a lot on the people that are around us in those similar circumstances to help us find all those things. When I'm looking for a new company for like a certain service that I'm looking for or a product, you see now actually, and I do this too. I'll ask my family, my friends. I'll go on I might go on like social media or something and say, hey, have you guys ever done this? Or like, I mean, for example, one of our clients, I just saw him post on Facebook. He was talking about like switching over to like a new mobile service, Adam Orchard, and he posted on Facebook. And he said, does anybody have this service? Like I'm considering switching to this one, but I don't know much about this service. And a lot of people commented back and, gave their insight, but we rely so much on other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's wrong with referrals is that like I could give somebody a card, but it doesn't mean anything unless I say something about that person, or if I actually allow some sort of interaction to happen where it's like, yes, I recommend this person. Let me send them over to you in an introduction where you can get to know each other a little bit and you can actually see what this person is like.
You know why we rely so heavily on referrals is because we don't know those people ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
So if we knew the guy or the lady that offers a particular service and we knew kind of their personality, their experience, their knowledge level, like if we knew that kind of stuff, we wouldn't need referrals. we would just know that's the person I want.
Yeah,
to go
you
with.
just go direct. Yeah.
Or here's where Pitch 59 and pitch cards come in. So the first thing is, one, you get to deliver your 59-second elevator pitch to everybody so that you don't have to have your customers try and explain who you are and what you do.
Yeah, and I mean, you can use it yourself, right? You can, but the beauty is in two ways. Not only to be able to introduce yourself, but allow those people to be able to introduce you, but then you get to still come to life.
Yeah. So this is where it solves a couple of problems. Before we talked about how it's cumbersome, awkward, difficult to make referrals because you just don't know. There's too many barriers. We don't know what to do or how to do it or what to say. And so if a company right now asks you to leave or to give you a referral or to refer you to one of your friends or family members, first of all, oftentimes you don't know who they want an introduction to, but also there's just too many things in the way for you to make that referral effective.
Yeah.
So the way that the pitch cards work is, if I'm a small business owner, what I'm doing is I'm handing them my pitch card, my virtual pitch card, and saying, this pitch card makes it so that you can refer and introduce me to anybody in just 5 or 6 seconds. Would you mind just scanning my pitch card, or let me text it or email it or airdrop it to you, whatever?
Yeah.
And would you mind just tap share and then introduce and then put in their name or phone number and tap send? It'll take you just a few seconds, and I'll just wait for you if you don't mind. It makes it so that customer doesn't have to do all that work. Mm-hmm. And a willing customer that's willing to refer you, they're going to be grateful that, okay, you're giving me a tool that's not just your name. And like, honestly, it's awkward for me if you're just giving me your headshot, your logo, and name and phone number and telling me to send that to my friend or family member.
Or just like a bunch of flyers or cards or something.
I'm like, that's just awkward. Like, they're not going to understand why I'm
handing
even
out
sharing
brochures
that
on the street and just be like, hey, check out this person. Like, it doesn't seem as genuine.
Right. Well, it almost seems like, why are you doing that? Why would you send me that person's information? On the other hand, if you send a pitch card, you're essentially giving that person an invitation to get to know somebody.
Right.
And you're connecting two human beings instead of a piece of information to a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So with the pitch card, when you say, would you share my pitch card with somebody? And they're like, okay, that has your elevator pitch on there, so I can introduce you. It's almost like we're in person here. I'm able to introduce you to my friend or my neighbor. I'm much more willing and likely to introduce you as a human being than you as a realtor or you as a plumber or you as a doctor or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want to introduce you as a human being to somebody else so that they can make their own decision, see your personality, your character, like all kind of glean that initial information from your pitch. And so that's why if you're a small business owner, you should be asking every single customer to share your pitch card with one other person that might be interested in what you do. And then just explain, all they do is just tap share and introduce and put in their name or phone number or email.
Right.
And they're done. Literally within 6, 7, 8 seconds, they'll be 100% done with that introduction. You'll get the exact default message that you wanted to share with everybody.
Right.
Because,
it's consistent.
Yeah, it's very consistent. Your pitch is always going to be whatever you wanted it to be. And then when they tap that introduce button, it automatically fills out the text or the email of how you want to be introduced. Mm-hmm. So it'll put in your phone number so that you're connected in that 3-way or a text or email. It'll include your default message with what you would like to people to say when they introduce you, and your pitch card so that those people can actually get to know you and have all of your contact information.
Right.
And so it like does all the work for all these people that had so many barriers in the first place. Now, if you just give them a simple, easy tool to refer you, they're much more willing to do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, I mean, even then, I mean, people will be like, well, what if I want to change it? Or what if I want somebody else to change it? Like, you can personalize these. You can personalize those messages and make sure that whoever you're sending it to gets exactly what you want to send to. But you've got the really great backbone of like, so you don't have to think about, what should I say?
Yep. It's
all done for you. It's right there ready to go. And then you can just send it and you're good. Not only that, but it's not just a direct message where you're, similar to like handing a card to somebody or a flyer and saying, hey, I hope you contact them.
Yeah.
You're in the message with them. Like it's a group chat or it's a group email.
And you don't have to do that, but everybody prefers that.
Yeah, you don't have to, you don't have to do that. And you can see how the world is changing a little bit, and they're like, they want these more personal interactions. And when people can see of what that turns out to be, and they're like, oh, I'm actually going to be able to keep track of this. So many more people like to see, like, just like to follow up with them and be like, hey, how's it going? Like, what's going on with this? But you can actually see the progression of the conversation as it goes. And you can help facilitate, you can chime in. Exactly. But it allows you to be more collaborative as a group and be like, hey, thanks for the introduction. I really appreciate that.
Hey,
I love meeting you through text. I'd love to chat with you and set up a time to meet. And it is so cool to see how quick that interaction becomes like they're setting up a meeting like right there. And you're just like, man, that's really awesome.
I just did that, or I helped with that. Yeah. I just this morning, within a period of about 30 minutes, I got 3 introductions from people that I hadn't talked to in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And they just introduced me with my pitch card. So I knew that I was getting the exact message across every single time to every customer. They know exactly what I do and who I am.
Yeah.
And those 2 people that made those introductions for me, it just took them a few seconds to do that. And before we end this, I just want to highlight one other quick feature, the pockets.
Mm.
I absolutely freaking love the pockets because the pockets are like a Rolodex on your phone. It's a way to keep them all organized in categories. And so you get to create your own pockets, but every time you get somebody's pitch card, you can just swipe down on it and put it in like your accounting pocket or your BNI pocket.
This is in the app. Yeah.
In your marketing pocket, hiring and recruiting, whatever pocket you want to create.
It's completely customizable.
Yep. And so you can just put pitch cards in pockets. And so the cool thing about that is when I'm talking to a friend or a family member and they're like, hey, I need somebody, I need a plumber to come and fix my
the best feeling in the world.
I'm like, I got a buddy.
Like, here. Yeah, I know a guy.
Within like 7 or 8 seconds, I've made a professional 3-way introduction where that plumber gets to come to life and introduce themselves to that person. And it's a game changer for that person that needed it.
Right.
They're like, I just got all of their contact information, their video testimonials, their social media links, their 59-second elevator pitch, in addition to like all the tools and everything that I needed. And I got it in just a few seconds because they had a pitch card. But the other cool thing is that looks really good on me.
Yeah.
Like my friend that's the plumber or whatever, he's like, dude, that's awesome. Thanks so much for the referral.
Right.
It didn't take me any time or effort to do that. Like it was literally 7 or 8 seconds. I was able to make that 3-way introduction.
Literally today, same exact thing. I was on a call. I was showing this person, I was learning about what they were doing and I was showing them what we were doing. And in that time, she was like, oh yeah, we've got some events that we do. And we're always looking for sponsors. And there's even we have like a skateboard competition and like a high wheel and just a couple of things that like have to do with like more active like activities and stuff. And I was like, I should really introduce you to Randy Gibb with Mad Dog Cycles. Yeah. I think that might be a good opportunity for him to sponsor. I think he'd be interested in something like that. And so in the call, I was literally like, I'm going to type this up really quick. And I was like trying to ask her like kind of how I should explain what she's doing. And then I sent out the text, and before the end of the call, he had texted back and said, hey, thanks for the introduction, Nick. And I was like, yes, like, it's just like, it's that easy. And there's so many times where they're like, people don't understand how easy it is to connect people in the community now with Pitch 59 to be able to say, oh, you don't know this person? Oh yeah, let me introduce you really quick. I'm great friends with them. Let me just pull up their pitch card, go to the pocket. For Randy, I like going to like keeping him in like a services pocket.
Yeah.
Because he loves doing like a lot of the e-bike stuff. But I could go to my pocket really quick, pull him up, swipe up, introduce, right there, ready to go, and just share him out in that instant. Yep. And it's done in a matter of seconds. So then by the time that we're already done the call,
he's always in your phone. He's always at a touch of a button.
Right.
By the way, even if when you receive a pitch card, if you don't have the app, you can just tap save on the pitch card and it'll save that contact information and the pitch card to your phone.
Just straight to the contacts.
And then later on, if you don't even remember that person's name, you can just search in contacts by pitch or pitch 59.
Pitch 59.
It'll pull up all of your contacts that have pitch cards and you can just go to that person and introduce them right there. So you don't have to have the app. However, even if you don't have a business, even if you don't need a pitch card or don't want a pitch card, download the Pitch 59 app so that you can collect everybody else's pitch cards and put them in pockets so that whenever you want, you can just introduce your friends, your customers, your companies, everything.
If you're a networker and you go out and meet people, if you connect people in any way, you almost just need it just to have those people in your pocket. Yeah. Literally, like that's the point of calling it pockets. I got people in my pockets and I can just easily, in the moment, I'm much more likely to remember you when I'm talking to somebody instead of saying, oh yeah, I'll try to remember some insurance agents when I can find them. But if I go to my insurance pocket, I'm like, oh, I've got all these insurance agents. Let me just give you the pocket and you can have all these people and you can watch all their individual pitches and see them all come to life, or I can make individual introductions to some of my favorites. And it just makes it so much easier instead of just saying like, oh yeah, I'll keep that in mind for you when I think of people that I can introduce you to.
So years ago when we were first creating Pitch 59 and we came up with the pocket feature, one of the first key lines that we went with, and maybe we can end with this, is keep your people in your pockets so that they're always with you. And pockets, like I mentioned, are like that Rolodex on the app. And anyway, we created I probably shouldn't do the rap here because it was.
There's a rap?
I created a rap. I'm a
Jeff,
white 40-year-old guy, bald, that created a rap.
Yeah, you. I think we need
titled,
to hear firsthand just so we can put it out to the audience.
I'll give you a little taste of it here. I'm not going to rap it out, but
I'm surprised that you.
We
still
essentially said, like the idea was that there's like a neighbor that comes out and they're like, "I need a plumber," and then the neighbor goes, "I got that," and then within a few seconds he's introduced him, and then there's another guy that comes on and he's like, keep your people in your pockets, keep your people. And so we're rapping out like, keep your people in your pockets. And it was really cheesy and dumb.
Wow.
But the idea of it is that if everybody has their people in their pockets at all times, like the painter that you love, or the window cleaner, or whatever service provider, your doctor, your OBGYN, whatever it is, if you can keep all of those people in your pockets and then be able to introduce them to anybody within just a few seconds, you become like the world's most connected person. It reflects well on you. You're always capable, ready to go whenever somebody needs something. But also, if you need something, if you need a doctor or need a painter or whatever, you've always just got your people instead of going to Google and trying to find the companies that you've used in the past.
Right.
Or going to Yelp and doing a new search or whatever.
That's the thing. Is like what's crazy is that now people have been starting to ask because I've like I pipe up when somebody says, "Hey, if you know any of those people," I'm like, "I do." Yeah. Like I work with some of those people. Now people have started to come to me and say, "Hey, do you know anybody that does this? I know you're pretty well connected." I'm like, yeah, because there's some of our clients. Like I know a lot of these people that are in these industries.
And those people that you refer absolutely love you and thank you and send you $20 gift cards.
If I don't know somebody, I could just go and find them on the platform and just watch their pitch and be like, this seems pretty cool. I could schedule an appointment with them if I wanted to. Yeah. And I could get to know them a little bit better and be like, all right, yeah, I would introduce this person to other people that I know.
Yeah.
If this person's looking for, a real estate agent, I would introduce this real estate agent to this person.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing is like, it really comes down to really making referrals simple and easy.
Yep.
That was a huge gap in the market.
And making, I'll add to that, making them human.
Making them personal.
Making them human is really critical to making it really easy because, like I said before, if you're just a logo or a headshot or a phone number, that doesn't really impact me. Mm-hmm. When you introduce that person as a human being, that makes a big difference to me.
100%.
And then you remove the barriers and you're off to the races.
People want to work. People want to work with people.
Yep.
And that's the thing is like when we're deciding to go between one business over another, over a third, you really decide who you want to work with based on who you've developed a relationship with.
Yeah.
And if you can just get a piece of getting to know them, and to the point where you're like, I could hop on a meeting with this person, or I can meet up with this person at a coffee shop or something. And you really get to see just this quick little introduction. That's all it takes a lot of the times. But a lot of times I need somebody else to be able to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
To be able to make that introduction for me. But it really comes down to, can we make it more humanizing for the people that are receiving them? Yep. Can we make it more personal so that you actually know that you're being introduced to a person instead of a logo or a brand or a company? We're working with people. We're working with individuals. And so if we can make, the world more collaborative through personal connections, human connections, and say, I want to refer this person to you, get to know them, develop a relationship with them.
People are better than star ratings.
Yeah, 100%. And it's sad that's kind of where the world has gone a little bit because you're so dependent on that. But I rely more on like, what was that person like?
Yeah.
What are they? Do you know them? Like, do you know them really well? Do you trust that person? Because they can be an employee or a person representing a company, but I want to know who they are as a person. And if we can allow people to make that connection like right off the bat without even having to meet the person first, like it's so much easier than just trying to be like, you should give this person a call, set up an appointment, go into their office, do all these things. I can just give them a sweet little introduction. Then it's so much nicer.
So, all right. So by the next podcast, we need to reach out to JTM and see if he wants to do a rap for us. Keep your people in your pockets here.
Yeah,
so.
we'll see how that goes. Probably it'll be better. But Yeah. So anyways, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to this podcast. And really just the whole point of this is really just to make those connections better. Like that's what we're trying to do at Pitch 59. And I think ultimately one of our biggest goals is to make those just so much easier for people to be able to connect on a deeper level right off the bat. And we recognize that those referrals and introductions are the way to do that. So we're excited for where this goes, and hope you join us next time.
Thanks.